What is up, YouTube? It's RSMario here, and I'm bringing you another top 8 video. And this one is going to be kind of linked into my new kind of anime initiative with the channel, leading into my new anime review coming out very soon. But yeah, so this one's a top 8 video. Now, Nintendo, we know Nintendo is looking to diversify their business strategy. They're looking to do something different, something new, something different. And there's nothing wrong with that. Diversity in business is something that happens. Nintendo's 2014 started off a little rough. They picked up at the end. They did pretty good, but they know that they can't put all their eggs in one basket anymore. They cannot solely depend on gaming. What they, basically what they've done since forever. But they can't depend on gaming always. So they want to diversify. And 9 times out of 10, if you're a gamer, you own or have seen anime at one point in time, and you probably watch anime. At least a large percentage of the video game community are otaku, and they watch anime. It kind of goes hand in hand these days. So this list is the top 8 Nintendo franchises that should be anime. Let's start, shall we?
Oh.
Alright, so first one is Pokemon. Alright, I know what you're gonna say. Pokemon's already been an anime. It's been an anime for like a decade. Yeah, that's true, but Pokemon anime is kind of it's the Pokemon anime. I dropped the Pokemon anime after Generation 4, and I haven't really picked it up since. And Ash is pretty much the same trainer he's been. He hasn't grown. He's like a guy who owns every Pokemon game and hasn't beaten one. That's pretty much Ash. And the Pokemon manga is such a better product, and we've seen a better product from the Pokemon anime before with Pokemon Origins. We know that it can be awesome. In Pokemon Origin, there was action, there was drama, there was that Charizard death screen. Yeah, we had a ton of stuff in that in that OVA, and that was just an OVA. Imagine if they had an entire series that was like that.
Oh.
Alright, number 7 is a franchise we haven't heard from since 2009, back in the Wii days, and it is Sin and Punishment. Sin and Punishment is a pretty interesting series. It has your quintessential kind of anime type of story. It's not a post-apocalyptic world, but it's well on its way to being a post-apocalyptic world. The world's running out of food, so they genetically alter creatures, and they basically make creatures to eat. Now, of course, with most genetic experiments, this is a bad idea, so things go awry. So when that happens, basically, there needs to be someone to stop them. So there is a government agency that comes in to try to stop this, to try to cull the herd, so to speak, and it doesn't necessarily work. Well, and they kind of end up oppressing the Japanese people because they believe it's their fault since they created the creatures, called ruffians. So, of course, there's 3 young people, like in most anime. Young people seem to be the ones to save the world, who are basically out to meet these challenges head on. And, well, there's a lot of shooting. But, of course, this will make a pretty good anime. It involves space, it involves monsters, and it involves a kind of an evil organization. It will make a pretty interesting anime for young teenagers and kids.
Oh.
And speaking of young teenagers and kids, Kid Icarus. Now this would be a pretty interesting anime. So technically, you have the premise of like most freaking shonen anime ever: a young protagonist taking on overwhelmingly evil odds. This is pretty much, this is shonen anime right there. It's pretty much Naruto. It's pretty much freaking Fairy Tail. That's basically Kid Icarus. I mean, there's other things in there too. There's other things in the story, but basically, there's a young protagonist who has to take on great evil. I mean, there's been a million animes to have that story, but it would still work. People will still buy the Kid Icarus anime, and they already showed us that they can do that with the Palutena reveal trailer from last year's Smash Brothers game. And I mean, you got fan service and you got action. What else could you ask for from an anime? Speaking of fan service, Metroid, number 5, Metroid. Yes, Metroid. Samus Aran. If they make an anime out of Metroid, 30% of the people, screw that, 40% of the people are gonna watch it for Zero Suit Samus. They're gonna watch it for Zero Suit Samus, fan service, but also they have a chance to make something that we don't get in anime a lot. That is a strong female character. They almost did it in Sword Art Online with Asuna, and then they turned her into Princess Peach before the end of the show. But, they have an opportunity to do that here with Samus Aran in Metroid. And it would be awesome. I like space anime. It would be, I like Cowboy Bebop. I like freaking Trigun. I like Banner of the Stars. I like anime, Gundam. I like anime that takes place in space. I like anime that take place in space. So this would be awesome. You've got missiles, you've got lasers, and you've got fan service. Yup. What more do you need in an anime? And while we're in space, let's get with Nintendo's newest hit offering, Xenoblade. Alright, Xenoblade picked up a ton of popularity from Xenoblade Chronicles back on the Wii, and it's even getting a 3DS remake. Why not give it an anime? I mean, you can use either Xenoblade Chronicles or Xenoblade Chronicles X. They both look awesome. Xenoblade Chronicles would make a pretty good story. You've already got established characters with Shulk and his band of people. Or you can use Xenoblade Chronicles X because it looks freaking awesome. I mean, you've got freaking mechs. Mech anime is big right now. Look at Knights of Sidonia. Look at Gundam. Freaking Gundam. Gundam's been around since the 80s and still making money off of mechs. So a mech anime in space would be awesome for Nintendo. Use Xenoblade. Freaking awesome. Alright, this one you all knew was on the list. You just didn't know it was going to be this low on the list. And that is The Legend of Zelda. Now, I know I probably lost a bunch of people when I put Zelda at number 3, but just bear with me, just let me explain myself. Zelda would be an awesome anime. The only thing about Legend of Zelda is it probably would fall with some of the anime tropes, as in, you've got a female protagonist, you got a female who needs saving, you've got the story that's been done forever, but in Zelda, it's awesome, and it will make an awesome anime. The Zelda manga has an incredible story. It actually goes into the backstory of several characters. Link's parents are even mentioned in one of the Zelda mangas. I think it's the Skyward Sword manga. No, they actually mentioned Link's predecessor. You know, they actually go into tons of backstory about characters that you never hear about in the Zelda games, in the Zelda mangas. So of course they can use the manga as the backbone to the story for the anime. And I mean, technically the mangas are pretty short, so there probably wouldn't be a show unless they did some filler, which could stretch the Zelda story some more, which wouldn't be a bad thing. But hey, you already got a manga. Next step is an anime. Next one, this is, if I didn't lose people by putting Zelda number 3, I'm probably definitely going to lose people by putting this one over Zelda and Metroid. And that's Animal Crossing. Don't hurt me. Don't. I know. But it's Animal Crossing. I mean, and there's one thing I can tell you here. One genre of anime that has grown exponentially since its birth, I don't know when, and that is the slice of life genre, with shows like K-On!, like Lucky Star, like Clanad. You know, all these shows are slice of life shows that are basically about nothing but watching these characters live their lives in ordinary life situations. It's awesome. Well, I mean, it can be slow at times, but people like this stuff. And Animal Crossing is basically that. Animal Crossing is basically you watching the life of some dude or chick living in a village full of animals. And all the animals in Animal Crossing have their own quirky, you know, personalities like, you know, people in slice of life anime. It could work. It would be perfect. And number one show that number one franchise that should totally be an anime, and you probably should have seen this coming, and that is Fire Emblem. Alright, after playing Fire Emblem Awakening, I realized that Fire Emblem is awesome. Like a whole bunch of people. And Fire Emblem has everything you need for an anime. It has action, it has adventure, it has drama, it has romance, it has fan service, death. It has everything you need for an anime. And, you know, I mean, it even has the semi-anime art style, you know, that you expect from an anime. You know, and, I mean, they're taking steps in the right direction with this by making an anime writer, a mangaka, you know, Shin Kibayashi, who basically wrote the Give Backers anime and manga, to write the story for the new Fire Emblem. So that steps in the right direction by making him do that. You know, get him to write an anime. I mean, he's already written anime before. He's writing the story for the new game. This could be the start of an anime. You know, there is rumors that there's going to be a Fire Emblem themed manga that's supposed to come out in collaboration with the Fire Emblem game coming out later this year, as well as a trading card game, which a ton of animes already have. So if Nintendo really wanted to take that extra step and go into the anime realm, Fire Emblem is the way to go. I mean, tons of video games have done the transition already. You know, Sengoku Basara has done it, Persona has done it, Devil Survivor has done it, and they're all pretty good. So that's about it. I hope you enjoyed this list. I hope you enjoyed these anime videos. Like, comment, subscribe, and keep it real.